Welcome to the Quest for Details. I'm Nate, and we are out in the Central Valley of California in a big old gravel bed, and we're going to do some rock hounding. And we have the machine with us, our hover bucket on wheels, and it's about to get up to 90 degrees today, but then it's going to get to 104. Then 105, and then it gets really hot for the rest of the summer. So we're gonna enjoy the little breezes that are here and see what kind of treasures we can find. So you are invited, and let's get to it. I lingered long this morning and enjoyed my coffee, and now we got to pay for it. Here's our first pretty mix of Jasper for the day. Look at the green in there, and the reds all mixing together, and little teeny tiny speckles I saw somewhere in there that hinted at some orbicular action in the reds there. These days the camera on the phone lets me see things better than with my own eyes sometimes, so we discover things later in editing, like those layers there. Beautiful stuff though, and the contrast of the colors together. We have this little guy. Beautiful little patterning going on. And that purple and that yellow mix is where a lot of our poppy out here lies. And of course, I'm on the hunt for that again. And there's hints of it. There's hints of it. Look at this thing. A huge Jasper. You can see these are all actual crazy agates. They are all bruised up, but they have different layers and different colors to them, along with just the ultra clear chalcedony film mixing in with those, and then the floating islands of the brachiated Jasper. And then you can see the cool reds hiding down deeper in these with the clear chalcedony fill over the whole thing. And that is just a big chunk of that material. Ooh, look down in there. Good stuff. So there's a trip maker right there for sure. Okay. Put that in the bucket. Wow, look at that. We just found another beautiful piece of poppy sticking out of here. Look at that. Oh, it's nice and clean and solid. You want to take this over to the water and look at it? I do. That is yay. Yay. Here we are, and it is gorgeous. Look at that material. The blue, the chalcedony, the size of the orbs. California poppy in its prime. I am very much fallen in love with that little piece. It very much made our day again. It's nice that it's earlier in the hunt. I mean, this is a happy little video with happy little trees and a happy little creek. Look at the green and dark stripe in between the black. I love the black background. It goes in the greens and golds. That classic top on there. Is just, it's just all the way through too. It's just goodness. There. Our day is made. It's It's a beautiful little piece. Okay. Couple more pieces of really beautiful yellow. This is like the blend of the Jasper that the pop is coming in. Super high silicate, swirled together, beautiful. Very nice little stuff. Boom. And then this, which has some definite crazy things going on. That pattern right there that continues all through the tip there. On into all the little micro patterning. But that overall piece is fantastic yellow and green. And there's that side, just very plumy, very glowy, high contrast. It's actually green making that yellow pop like that, and then the red. That's why everything looks so surreal and hard-edged and stuff. Okay, here's our next little beauty. Take this one. I'll have to take it to the water. The details in that are crazy. These colors are so contrasting in this Jasper. That's why the blends out here are just addicting. Look at that. Can you imagine that? Just that in a cab. Crazy things going on. See this Jasper right here. Look at the Jasper and then the big agate sticking out of it. You can tell it's high silicate. Got a nice little rock there. The agate basically goes all the way through. See it there? I believe it's the back of that. Nice little centerpiece right in that natural little beautiful tumbler. That is Jasper right there, you know? That's why people love you. Look at that one. Nice, beautiful little pattern in that. These rocks are hot, so we are dealing with a quick evaporation on our little mistings. Beautiful. Look, when you see these in my hand, you can see the super silicate of them. Let's look at those real quick. Let's just slow down. Nice yellow. So again, that super fine silicate. You see the patterning in it. This is a high silicate Jasper. You can see the shine in it already. Abrasiated Jasper. Brachiated. I say it a bunch of different ways because I watch channels from different countries. Every time we agree amongst ourselves here in one spot, we find people are using a different accent point in another area. So it just is what it is. But brachiated, brachiated Jasper right there. Then you swing over and look at the poppy when it comes out. Like, see that little nugget from 30 feet away, right? Look at the colors in it and the shine. You see that? That's dry. It shines like that. And that little layer there will probably be, oh gosh, our red pop, but it's micro, but look at it with the orange and the yellow stripe there. Oh, neat fingers. That's beautiful. Come on. Boom. Look at 3 very fantastic rocks. It's a piece of orbicular yellow poppy jasper. Crazy piece of little flamey stuff. And then look at this jaspagate. Half agate. Oh, half jasper. Let's go look at this in the water where we can pull them down. Over here. So let's look at this yellow one first. The outside of it is not that impressive until I draw you into the details here. And you can see the orbicular patterns in there. You see it? Over here below my thumb. Going through there. There's actually a lot of it in here, and it's the bigger stuff too. See it all along this bottom edge. Easier to see what's wet. Those are beautiful orbicular patterns showing up on the outside of it where it's all bruised up. So, have to do some cutting and see kind of things this stone hides. The back of it has some open quartzy pocketness to it, but yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, and then this colors in there, that's insane. Micro pop all through it of all flavors. So the alternating micro pop gives it that pixelated craziness because you have the dark and the light and the dark, and all those very yin yang universal contrast things like that. Boom. Yep, that's beautiful. Here we have our jaspagate. Here's that front side that we looked at first. Ooh, wow. Yeah. That's why we call it a Jasper agate. See how it's agate, Jasper, agate, Jasper, agate, Jasper. So, jaspagate. Look at those colors. Look at that contrast. That's flipped out. Boom. That is beautiful. Gorgeous, right? Look at that. Would you call that not agate? Would you call that purely jasper? See, there's brachiated jasper. The brachiations in it. And then you have this agate seam running all through here. So that becomes basically jaspagate. The good stuff. green jasper hides out here. Look at it. Its transformation when we start to get it wet. These are these same colors that mix with the greens and give us that crazy play between green and yellow and red. Look at this striped, striated little, it's got some micro pockets, some of this extremely silicate yellow. It's already got a nice tumbling polish on it because it's so non-fracturous and solid. And just look, those are all hematite stripes down in there. And just tight with some purple mixed in. So anyhow, just some gorgeous stuff that's definitely going in the bag. And just what a nice piece. That one is a nice piece. Hey, look at this. This is another dam acre right here. Oh, big too. Big enough to not move right away. That is a piece of crazy poppy jasper. Oh, it's got nice colors. It's got really developed poppy on it too. Oh man. We are so far out from the water. Wow. I want to do this one justice. It needs to be cooled down and scrubbed. And just, oh my god, okay. Okay, we have to go to the water. This one is pretty clearly a poppy jasper here. One of the classic, like Morgan Hill reds. Look at that patterning in there. That is beautiful. I'm working my way to the water with this first one. And now we are lucky enough to find this. Oh, even bigger. Not even bigger, but bigger than I thought. Chunk. And if you're asking where my pry bar is, even if I brought it in the bucket, I'm a long ways from the bucket. There's only so much you can carry in your hand. Oh, gosh. Okay, that is a big, nice chunk of red. We're gonna have a little teaser reveal here. Yep. Let's go get them wet. I know I said that. I got over to here to this little, there's not much shade. There's not much shade out here. And you don't want to be behind too thick of a bush because it cuts the wind off. So I looked all over and I found this little sparse loner bush. Maybe it's cooled the gravel off a bit. I hunker under it. I got my soda and my hat. And look what we went to hunker down next to. And I have not got to show you those two yet. But this is clearly another piece of poppy here. So, boom. Beautiful. We're going to have to haul that to the water too. I just need to stop for a second because I'm overheating here. So, wow. You wander all over a gravel bed for an hour and a half and then find all that in 15 minutes. 3 different flavors of poppy there. And just crazy. So where do we start? Let's just start and we'll read from right to left here. Left to right. Whichever you prefer to think of your hands as. And look at that structure. Ancient preserved cellular structure from giants or grains of hematite sand that spread out in silicated clay to, I don't know. I think I finished the reading the whole thing and I fell asleep that night. But look at that. That just makes some beautiful pieces. It's got nice spacing, nice size. Stone of that, and that's that Morgan Hill, one of the more common of the poppies from down there, which is the other area where this stuff is hunted in this particular state. I see orbicular poppies from lots of different states, so world, that would be a day maker. I always just am happy to find one piece of this stuff and then a bunch of other pretty Jaspers. These beds are loaded with Jaspers, so these are the very special ones amongst them for me. And there's a keeper, and then on to our, let's do this other red. This one's got more round to its orbs, if you can see that. More pop going on. It also has some green as we move through the stone instead of just black background. But that black is fun too because it's got spacing that really allows you to see the orbs, as opposed to that one where they can be super tight or all packed together. You get this one that's got these orbs floating through it type of thing, into the yellows. That's pretty fantastic right there. Oh, ridiculous. Okay, this one has not just the red. It's got everything going on. Sorry, I'm failing for words because I'm just oohing and awing through the camera here. It gives me such a better close-up than my own eyeballs, and then I'm like, wow. I love how it goes from yellows into the mix and the reversals of the centers of the orbs and stuff. Okay. Oh, and then here's this green with the yellow. And then we found this one out there. Along with all the others that we found today, this has been a really great hunt. But look at this, it's insane. Look at this window here. Look at the orbs. See them? Oh, that is so nice. That is crazy. Oh man. I love how they've like joined together and made these arches that kind of form that bigger pattern on that side. The development, you can actually start to see petals on these pops again. Yeah. That is such fun stuff. This is what I came out here for, hoping for, but I'm always telling myself, if we don't find any today, that's okay, because we've been spoiled recently, but then we did just walk a half a mile at least. Some hot stuff, full sun, 90 degrees, stumbling around back and forth, only the passion that rockhounders have to hover on a gravel bed in those temperatures. And this is what we get for it, right? I don't know when to stop showing you the parts of this. I have to here, because the video needs to go on. We actually need to turn around. We've gotten to the far end of this bed, and we're kind of up at the behind some barns and stuff, so I usually let the human habitations and stuff that are super close to the water be the cutoff points for my wanderings, just out of politeness and all that. I feel like I'm well tolerated out in the in-between areas, so why push up into people's privacy zones, Just a theory, each their own, and you can develop your own rock hounding morals and habits and all that. But yeah, we are coming to the end of this particular bed. We do have to start wheeling the bucket back, and I'm feeling kind of roasty toasty. And I'm also feeling pretty darn accomplished because we have a bunch more pieces of beautiful stuff to cut. Very, very lucky and fortunate right there to have so much pop going on in one place. Good stuff. This is gonna have to be our last pile here because I'm getting cooked and drank my last fluids, and we have the equal distance back. So we are at our PNR, and I have to respect that and head back probably. But let me show you these rocks, and then we'll say goodbye for today. Okay. Nice mixes of greens, reds in this one. I was hoping maybe to spot some poppy, but I think it's just a really fun blend in general. But it does look kind of rough. I might be tempted this far out, this much weight to leave this behind, but I wanted to show it to you. This little guy, we can afford to bring that no matter what. Does anybody else, when they start to film stuff, always have a fly land on their elbow? It's like the mosquito on your nose when you're playing guitar, you know? But yeah, there's that beautiful little thing. I might get this fly elbow thing solved. We're back. Here's another green mix. Liking that one. And again, ooh, some of these colors just get up into like they put the extra special crayons in here, you know? Not just your average set. Like that. Just feels sometimes like this part of this creek they were spilt some extra paint in the God bucket. The greens and the reds and the fires and how they mix out here. You get a full spectrum of color, so it does a rainbow effect on your eye. It's so bad. That was fun. There are a bunch of these out here. These perfect. It's a Jasper nodule, but it's also a septarian nodule because the way it ripped, and it was probably like a ball of mud. But it's also got, you know, agateness in there, and then the quartz druze infill. So you could have druzy quartz infill, or you could have agate infill, and it's got a good mix of both. Now I like how inside the druzy cave, that would have been like a little geode filled with whatever stuff that is, like just a totally red silicate. Did that in several spots. You got the original stuff that split open the cave that grew, and then the things that filled in the cave. So yeah, that's a cute little one that can go home with us. This thing, I've never slowed down. I've seen this material laying out here. You can see that's what the outside looked like. But look at that, and it's also very slabbable because it's like in a loaf. So it's literally, you could slab that off of there, you know? And look at what actually makes up the stone. I guess it's hard to tell. It's a conglomerate, some sort of brecciation of who knows what, but look at the pieces in here, the individual pieces. Sure looks like a conglomerate, right? How they're all, and there's like that, but look at what's stuck in the conglomerate everywhere, you know? So that's enough interesting things in one rock to make me think, man, even though it's not the brightest like rainbow colors, look at the patterns in that. So we're definitely going to bring it home. I just feel like, is that like petrified wood conglomerate, you know? I don't know. that even happen? What were these original pieces that then got stuck together to form this loaf? I don't know. I have to think about that one. So it goes in the bucket so we can think about it. And then, last but not least, this beautiful piece of Jasper here. See the brachiated pattern and then the yellow lacings in the agate there. All throughout, those are just very clear little veinings. Highly silicated, there's that side. And those are just see-through chalcedony, little agate eye centers. Yep. So that goes in the bucket too, because it's nice, super glossy, super silicate, brachiated material. And that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for us. We're gonna head out here. So thank you for joining me on another quest, or if this is your first, let me just throw that in there. You could go ahead and give me a like, a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm know these are worth sharing with other people out there. And if you subscribe, that would be a great boost to the channel. I always appreciate it. And I'm gonna go ahead and make my way back. If I find anything cool, I'll go ahead and put it in the video. And if not, then you know the deal. I'm just gonna make my way there and then make my way to some food and fluids. And hopefully you will do the same and get some sleep in between. And just try and think happy thoughts. That's the best way to take care of yourself. And then if you get the chance, take care of anything else. And we'll see you next time, hopefully.